So I want to ask, like, what made you get into this? What made you decide to do
This.
what you do? Yeah.
Because I reached a point where I was that depleted, burnt out manager. You know, my last centre, I had 25 teachers.
Wow.
And
That you looked up
they're looked after.
Yeah.
And I reached a point in my life where I had some personal development, and I just thought there's just so much stuff happening in early childhood, and so much happening for teachers and managers and things, and I just really feel passionate coming from that place where I sort of went and sort of reflected about myself, and also just had to think about, where I'd been, and I thought, I don't want to be there. And because I had put some steps in my life to get out of that, I thought, well, I could maybe be that person for somebody else too, that person that helped me see how I could help myself. Maybe I could be that person for somebody else. And so that's what made me feel really passionate about it.
So who was that Tanya Valentin to you?
It was a very controversial lady named Sally Anderson.
Right. Is she?
She's not an early childhood
She's not right.
person,
Okay. Yeah.
but she had this very intense sort of course. It was like a 2.5 day course where you sort of stayed there, and she sort of worked through all these things with you. And I pretty much spent the whole weekend crying, and just but I came away with this realization that I couldn't go on that way anymore. That things in my life needed to change.
So why not come back being a center manager, implementing those changes? What made you decide to go, I want to preach now this new realization, this new teaching that I've discovered? Because it will make life better for the 25, obviously, I suppose.
Oh, no, it would. But some other things had happened in my life too.
Okay.
Like my husband, and we used to have a business in Auckland. We
Right.
sold our business.
Right.
And I, so we decided to move out of Auckland to Whangarei. But I also realised that, when you think about your own passions, your own things that you love, the part of the job that I really loved was growing and motivating people, working with almost as my teachers, as students kind of thing, seeing them as learners and how could I help them. And the day-to-day running of the centre, the waking up at 5 a.m. to get a reliever because someone's called in sick, and the financial stuff and all that kind of thing. It just wasn't my passion anymore. I've been in early childhood for 20 years.
Right.
And I just thought there's something more, something bigger that I want to do. And it's taken me a lot of time to actually pick up the courage to,
It wasn't immediate. It wasn't
immediate.
after Sally Anderson.
No, it wasn't like, oh yes, I'm definitely going to, it's, I went on the thing,
Right.
then I spent, 6 or 7 months still working as a centre manager, and then thought, I'm just not.
That's a wise approach.
Yeah.
A bit about me. My background was actually I was in construction, and I went on a holiday to the States.
Yeah.
I came back and I just resigned,
Wow.
and I realized, shit, what am I going to do now? That wasn't actually a really good idea, and then I just had to basically find my way around and find something productive that could make a living, make an earning. so very wise move. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think, it's just, I think the more you do things, the more you get motivated to continue,
Right. So I want to ask, so from Sally Anderson,